What you're looking at is a war between cell colonies. It is a game very similar to Conway's Game of Life, but with a lot of extra rules. I programmed this 0-player game with Codex in Python. Not only is this absolutely magnificent to watch, but there is also some very interesting information hidden in the graph on the right side of the screen. One time I saw a video on evolution by Veritasium. In that video was a passage where he explained how mutation works or something like that. And I was like, wow, that looks awesome. I wonder if I can make a game about it, where you watch different colonies fight for resources. Yeah, that would be so cool. So I programmed this. As I said before, it resembles the Conway's Game of Life. There are some cells that live or die depending on some conditions. Every cell has its own stats. Here is a list of all of them. So the first one is starvation. This is basically how long the cell will live until it dies. Speed is how many steps can they make in 1 second. Every living unit is trying to get food and duplicate itself. The amount of food they need to make a copy is described as food cost. When a cell duplicates, it has a chance, set by the mutation value, to produce an organism that is different. This newly born cell will have its attributes changed by about 10% compared to the mother cell. Another way of getting food, besides picking it from the floor, is to eat somebody. When there are two cells next to each other, they fight, and the one with the higher attack parameter devours the other, and gets all of the food that it costed to make the cell. Every organism has their priorities on what to do. Here is a simple summary. If I see someone in a radius of blocks around me equal to my vision value, I try to run away. Then if I see food on the ground, I will go in its direction. If I don't see any food, I will try to eat somebody else. And if there isn't anything else to do, I will move randomly. And lastly, there is the group value. This parameter says how big will each organism try to get. This whole thing moves as one organism, and it has increased starvation and strength. On the right side, you can see information about the different colonies. You can see how many cells it has or the stats, but the most interesting thing is the population graph. This pattern is what I call the revolution, because the race that ruled the world is dying and getting outnumbered by other colonies. And I call this one the short-lived king, because this race won the last fight for dominance, but someone new came into the game and is already better than the king. I have a lot more projects that I can talk about, but that is not the subject of today's video. So see you again in any of my upcoming videos. Bye bye.